When I say who's the master, you say show no. Good afternoon. What's going on, everybody? Showing up the King here, and I'm here to do my review for Young Justice, Season 2, Episode 5, titled Beneath. I wanted to start this video off by apologizing for how long it took me to get it uploaded. You know, with it being Memorial Day weekend, I had to go out of town to do the family thing. But, you know, I'm back. Watched the episode again, and I am ready to talk about it. Let's get into it. All right. This episode actually starts off with a young boy at a bus station, you know, when he gives Blue Beetle a call on his phone telling him that, you know, he's having some issues with his mom's boyfriend and that he can't take it anymore, and he's rolling out. He's like, look, I'm out of here. You know, I can't take this guy anymore. And, you know, Blue Beetle's like, look, I'll come and I'll help you. Just stay where you are. And the young boy is like, you know, I can't make any promises, etc., etc. Hangs up the phone, and then as he's walking away, he is abducted by an unknown figure. And all that's left is his skateboard. So we are left in the dark as to who this young man is and who actually kidnapped him. And then it basically sends Blue Beetle on a mission to figure out what happened to his friend. On the other side of things, we have Team Alpha on a mission. And this is, I guess we would call this the Girl Power mission. And we have the members of the Team Alpha: Wonder Girl, Batgirl, Bee, and Miss Martian. Now, me being a guy, you know, I would love to be a part of that team, you know, just to see him in action, if you get my drift. But, you know, this was an all-girl mission, and there was a little bit of banter back and forth between Batgirl and Nightwing about controlling men, and, you know, it was a little bit funny. He was, you know, Nightwing had this moment. He was like, I have no way I can answer this question correctly. He's like, Nightwing out. Click. So I thought that was hilarious. So basically their mission was to investigate some disappearances of their own, you know, weird. And it looks like their things were, you know, in line with each other as far as what was going on, but they were just looking at it from different angles. So, you know, their mission was more of a stealth mission to try to figure out exactly what was going on. And I will say, by the end of the episode, there was more questions, but I actually got a big answer. You know, there was one person that, you know, kind of tipped the scale off or tipped things off to me, and I actually do know exactly who this partner is now. I'm about 95% sure I know who the person is. And I will give, you know, full disclosure, and I will give some spoiler alerts. So, you know, people who don't want to know who it is, you know, I'll get to that point and I'll tell you. So, anyway, let's get back into the review. Basically, let's talk about Bumblebee's situation. I said Bumblebee, Blue Beetle situation first, because at the end of the day, his whole lead that he had didn't really go anywhere. First, he goes to see the young gentleman's. I think his last name was Long Shadow. So he went to go see Long Shadow's mother first, and that's where we get to see the mother's boyfriend, who's an asshole. You know, he's that typical douchebag that, you know, that's angry at the world. You know, you know, since it's a kid show, they don't probably go that angle, but, you know, he probably beats her, and, you know, he's probably abusing the boy, you know, things of that nature. So he's that typical guy who's mad at the world. He's that college jock, that high school jock that was the big thing in campus, and then, you know, now after high school, he's nothing but a grocery store worker who's mad at the world and is always looking for a quick buck. So, you know, that's the kind of personality I got from him when I saw it. So, you know, it's typical. But what I thought was very funny is the Blue Beetle, the scarab that's on his back, is always trying to kill people. It's like, literally, he's like, you know, in his head, he's like, you know, target seems hostile, aggressive attack, you know, warranted, and, you know, his arm is always like growing out, like he's getting ready to disintegrate him. And he's like always like, no, no, no. It's just their interactions. Now that we know that the scarab is who's talking to him in their little inner monologues, is actually very hilarious. I love the fact that, like, literally every second this thing is like, kill him, kill him. He's going to come after us first, blah, blah, blah. So it's that internal struggle thing. I like to see how that develops more throughout the season before they hopefully get on a healthy medium where you don't want to be too aggressive with people, but you don't want to be too soft with them either. So we'll see how that goes. So essentially what ends up happening with that little arc is come to find out that the boyfriend did not take Long Shadow. He also visits the dad, and the dad tells him that, the other guy's just upset because, the boy is going to be the new leader of the clan, and, the other guy's jealous about it because he wants to be the chief and blah, 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 the typical situation. So when Blue Beetle confronts him about that, he's like, look, that position of chief does not even pay. I don't want to have anything to do with something that doesn't pay. And then he has this shed. So, Blue Beetle's thinking, oh my God, he have his body in the shed, like some First 48 kind of stuff. So, he breaks open the shed finally, and all that's in there is a pirated DVDs and video games. I was like, really? Really? Pirated DVDs and video games? Okay, I'll give you guys that. So, basically, that's all he was doing, was trying to sell some pirated stuff. The Blue Beetle had to make the point that, I'll turn him in about those later, but, he doesn't have, the guy. He didn't have Long Shadow. So, so that was that. So that whole arc ends there. We never figure out at that point what happened to the young boy who was taken. Now we go to the Team Alpha storyline where they're doing their whole covert mission, and they're talking about infiltrating this base, and they actually have Wonder Girl fall back to the pole position because again, her thing is not stealth, just like Superboy. If you want to be stealthy, you don't want to send somebody with superhuman strength who in an attitude problem, they're kind of going to make waves, if you get what I'm saying. So she has to play her position, and she stays back where everybody else goes and investigates. But Wonder Girl actually ends up noticing that Simon is back. And for those who don't know who Simon is the guy with the freaky brain that's showing through his head. And he fought Miss Martian last season, and she lobotomized him and put him in a vegetative state last season. But it looks like he's back. So, he's back, and we have a whole group of thugs that's along with him that's trying to load this plane full of people. So, he wasn't the young gentleman who got kidnapped was not the only one. There was a group of people that was getting kidnapped, and they're being loaded onto this plane to be taken to the partner. So, that's going on, and basically they infiltrate the base, and they get caught, and then a battle ensues. And essentially what happens is this bad girl gets caught, and Wonder Girl, Miss Martian, and Bee, they have to go in and rescue her. There's a huge fight. It's a pretty decent fight. Nothing like in the past episodes, but the biggest part of this episode is that and they rescue the people. Let's just get to it. They rescue the people. They save the day. Team Alpha, girl power. So, all right, let's get into the spoilers. Spoiler alert. So, the question is, who is this partner? Now, let me say before I tell you guys, I'm about to explain, and I'm about 95% sure. The partner. Now, last episode we saw that shadowy figure that destroyed the element golem. Now, I don't know if he's in league with the same partner as this episode, but I do know for a fact that the partner that they're talking about is Cadmus. It's Project Cadmus. And the reason that I know that is because of the Long Shadow fellow, the kid that they took. Now, I don't know if anybody else remembers from I'm about to say Young Justice League series that was out, many years back on Cartoon Network. There was a group that was created by Cadmus, which was to be their superhero, their version of the Justice League that was only loyal to them. And the leader of that group was a gentleman who was of Indian descent. Not Indian, but you know what I mean, Native American. And his last name was Long Shadow, and his abilities was he could grow his body and strength. And I'm 100% sure that's who that young boy was that got stolen. He was the Long Shadow kid, and they was taken from Project Cadmus. And if you look at the very last part, after the Team Alpha gets away with all those kids that were taken, there were 4 kids that were left. And if you do that quick pan right before the end of it, there's 4 people in there. There's an Asian kid who ends up being Wind Dragon, and then there's two a brother and a sister, and they're I think that's Shifter and Downpour, and both of their abilities are to shapeshift. So that is the ultimate group team that was created by Project Cadmus to be a counter for the Justice League. You know, in case the Justice League went rogue, they had their own group of superheroes that will be loyal to just them. Now, I thought it was kind of interesting that they brought this element into the show this season. So I'm again, keep in mind that this probably will not follow the Justice League segment of the way that things went, because, you know, later on down the line, you know, they get cloned. You know, Long Shadow leaves the Ultimates, and, you know, it's a whole big thing. But it'll be very interesting to see where they go with this. But I'm telling you now, I'm about 95% sure that they stole those kids for Project Cadmus, and they're going to become the Ultimates. And that Long Shadow kid is going to be the leader of that group. And the Asian kid is going to be Wind Dragon, and then the 2 brothers and sisters are going to be Downpour and Shifter. You heard that here. All right. Overall, this episode was great. I love the reveal. You know, I'm glad that they're moving the show in the right direction. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to give this episode a 3.5 out of 5. Again, I want to hear what you guys think about the episode. Let's get this discussion going. You know, comment, rate, subscribe. Again, this is Showing Off the King. You guys have an awesome Memorial Day.